Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We are cruising along, and I think it's time we took a look at some challenges. So I was looking at the list of challenges, and let's see. I think, I know that Highbrow unlocks the Yera rune. We're going to want to unlock Yera, Perthro, and Algiz. Now, I want to preface this by saying I'm not trying to do the absolute most efficacious way to get the save file completed, but I do want to be like kind of smart about it and unlock good things so that we can just sort of cruise a little more smoothly. And I know, so Highbrow unlocks Yera. One of the other challenges that we haven't actually unlocked yet unlocks Perthro, I think. So we could do Highbrow, or we could do Waka Waka is the one that unlocks Death's Touch, and the host unlocks Tech Point 5, which is also a really good item. Death's Touch is super good. Let's do the host though. I kind of just don't want to do Waka Waka right now because it's annoying, and there's a seed there, but I don't think it matters because it's a challenge. But if you were curious to get these items yourself, BE39QDPJ. So the host, we start with the Tick, it looks like, Spider Baby, and the Mulligan. So I don't imagine this run will be that hard. I can never remember which of the challenge runs. Let's do this first. Which of the challenge runs, ooh, what a haul. Starts with item rooms, like which ones you get item rooms on, and which ones you just have to cruise with the items that you start with, you know? I feel like in my heart of hearts, I feel like this one should have item rooms, but it might not. We're gonna take a look. Take a little gaze and gander around the level, see what we can see. See what there is to see. It's not looking promising as far as the item room propositions so far. I mean, if we don't have item rooms, we don't have item rooms. That's the way she goes. A bad trip is pretty annoying after having picked up a soul heart fortuitously on this floor, but it's my fault for taking a blind pill. So Casey and I hung out tonight. I got home. We made our typical dinner. Our typical dinner on the weeknights consists of some delicious chicken tenderloins, some rice, and I usually have a baked potato. Casey does not, because I just have a higher caloric need, generally speaking, than she does. She's smaller than I am. And we cooked that all up in an Instant Pot, which if you don't have an Instant Pot, let me tell you, get an Instant Pot. If you're out there and you're like in college and you're cooking your ramen on the stovetop, look up, ask for an Instant Pot for the next holiday of your choosing. If you have a family that does gifts, etc., etc., look up some top recipes that will change your life. I wish the thing didn't exist. As far as I know, when I was in college, there were pressure cookers, but not this Instant Pot of gloriousness. Plus, the internet wasn't in the state that it is now, where everything is so instantly searchable. I feel like people think that the internet has always been an extreme treasure trove of information, and it has. But in the early days of the internet, it was a lot more difficult to share and disseminate that information. You could find it, but you needed to be extremely well equipped. So I think there are no item rooms, so we will, we can't pick that up, unfortunately. So we will open chests with reckless abandon. But you had to be equipped with some super strong nerd cred, like belong to the right communities, or just know, where to go. These days, I mean, everything has a Google-esque search algorithm. It's very easy to track down the information that you want, and honestly, I think we're better off for it. Now, I also think we're worse off for it. The internet's a complicated thing, man, It's a sad state of affairs, but it's the truth that negativity just spreads so much more easily than positivity, and misinformation spreads at an alarming rate on the internet. You wouldn't think, it doesn't make sense to me It doesn't make sense to me as someone, as a man of science and a man who values, you know, facts and truth above, I mean, maybe literally all else. I don't know. I mean, you know, how do you equate, like, do you value facts and truth above your daughter's life? I mean, like, sort of. I mean, like, not really, but like, if you gave me the choice of, like, you know, either your daughter will live or truth itself will cease to exist. Tough call, dude. Tough call. I mean, that's some metaphysical shit you're making me decide about right there. I think either your daughter will die or truth is. I think I posed that question wrong, and now I'm mulling it over in the old brain. But it seems crazy to me that someone could go on the internet and find a lie or find something that's, you know, misinformation and not possess the tools or the desire or both to figure out that it's misinformation. You know? Does that make sense? Am I sprechen the English here? We're gonna take all. Yes, please. And this is now just a regular old run to mom, I think. I think this one only goes to mom. Should be easy peasy. But you hear me? Because, like, I think this happens all the time. And what scares me is I think people don't know that they're doing it, and so I worry that I'm doing it. Like, are there things that I believe that are entirely wrong, and I am refusing to see that they're wrong? Or is it just the fact that I even question that? Does that put me like a leg above others? I feel like I want to believe that it does. I don't know that it does. These are complicated times. But, you know, I mean, I think what I will say is that when I go online and I find an article, a thing about almost anything, my usual first step is to find look for other articles expanding on that same thing. And I want to say expanding on that same thing because I don't seek out, I think the misstep is seeking out something that confirms what you already believe. That's the crux of the problem. The internet unfortunately creates these communal bubbles, right? And unfortunately every site does it. Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, everything. You subscribe to subreddits that already espouse what you already believe. You create circles on Facebook and Twitter. I know they're not called circles. DAE, Google Plus. But you create groups and spheres of influence on Facebook and Twitter of people who have the same belief system as you. And then it just becomes this, you know, circle jerk, essentially, of just confirming and reconfirming your beliefs. And I don't know, like, that's not necessarily healthy, you know? Pre-social media, you went to class and you were with some asshole who believed something different than you, and you just didn't get away from them. Those were your friends. You didn't have a choice. Now you get to curate the people around you, and that's great, you know, for keeping away toxic people and stuff like that, but it's also really bad for cultivating like a cognitive dissonance. And I think a cognitive dissonance is a good thing, you know? You want to, you know, if you're a conservative Republican out there, you should be watching the Rachel Maddow show. And if you're a bleeding heart liberal, you should be, you know, going on r/the Donald. As crazy as that sounds, just to know, to be able to, like, understand the other side, because when it comes down to it, they are people. As much as we like to demonize the other side of particularly politics, but any kind of argument or belief or whatever, they're people, you know? And I don't know. We lose sight of that. We lose sight of the fact that they're people, and we lose sight of this, like, you know, you just create this bubble for yourself And it becomes impenetrable. And impervious to facts, to truth, to even empathy and compassion and enlightenment, I would say. And that makes the world a scary place to me, you know? It actually makes, like, the internet, as much as I am on the internet all the time, obviously. I'm here talking to you through the power, the magic of the internet. I embrace it for the beauty and the tools and the capability that it brings us. You know, I can communicate instantaneously. Access to any information I could ever desire. I've taught myself so many things, you know. If I want to learn something, I go on YouTube, I learn a new skill. That's amazing. And I'm a big proponent of learning for the sake of learning. Like, just learning how to, like, keep learning new stuff. That's what the internet is amazing for. But the social aspect of the internet, honestly, and I know I make myself sound old, but it scares me. And it scares me for the world that I'm bringing my daughter into, honestly. That's the perspective that I bring to the table now. You know, I think I went off on this. I think I talked about it on stream. I don't know if I've talked about it on in a video, but I know that, like, I've talked to many friends and about their experience with online dating. And I come from an era where online dating was, like, not really in the state that it is now. Online dating was weird. It was still very weird when I was in high school and even in college. It was looked down upon. Now it's the norm. And, you know, I think online dating is fantastic for some things, and it's like the other things on the internet. Like, you know, the internet's great for finding information. Online dating is great for the socially awkward, right? You don't need to go try to pick up a girl at a bar, which is honestly, that's one of the ways that I loved online dating, because that's how I met Casey, was through a dating app. Well, really a hookup app, but, you know, a dating app. We'll go with that. I want to go to the curse room because we could become guppy on this run. But, you know, I'm not socially awkward, but I'm only an extrovert among people that I already know well, if that makes sense. I'm very boisterous and extroverted among my friends. Put me in a group of strangers, and literally the last thing I want to do is go up and talk to a stranger. I don't get anxiety. It's just, I just hate it. Like, I don't get anxious. I don't get nervous. I just would rather do literally anything else. So going up and talking to a girl in a bar, it's just not my idea of a good time. And I was never good at it. I never had game, so to speak. But being able to develop a friendship, a relationship over time through clever witticisms and conversation and talking and things like that, that I thrive on, you know? I consider myself a good conversationalist, but I gotta get there first. And dating app allowed me to get there. Yeah, there, we're up. Freaking sweet, dude. We don't need that or that. Let's just rock and roll. Now, we don't get credit for touching items, I don't think, in a challenge. I don't think it counts towards our, like, item completion in that sense. But online dating is, it's terrible in some other aspects, and I don't know if I'll be able to go that far into it in the video, because the video, I think it actually goes to It Lives. I was thinking it went to Mom. I think it actually goes to It Lives. No, it goes to Mom, because it's on the left side there, you goon. It's on the left side next to that little trophy with a no symbol through it. So I don't think I'll be able to go too far into it, because this run's not going to last, like, all that much longer. But, in fact, it's not going to last. No, I won't do that to you. I won't skip the whole floor. I was going to just skip. I was going to just go and say, yeah, you know, we'll just go down to depths 2 right now. We're going to win. But we'll make it last just a little bit longer than that. But basically, online dating doesn't provide anybody with what they want. And I'm going to make some broad generalizations here. Please listen to what I'm saying with the knowledge that there are extremely large exceptions to these rules. But generally speaking, societally speaking, when people go on online dating apps, generally speaking, the ladies are looking for relationships and the guys are looking to fuck. And that's a sweeping generalization, and there are exceptions, strong, you know, not insignificant exceptions to that rule on both sides. But however, what ends up happening is that neither side gets what they want. Because guys are pretending they want relationships. And girls are sort of like leading the guy on that they want to fuck and trying to drag it out into a relationship. And now you might say, well, yeah, but that's happened since the dawn of time in any form of dating forever. And you're correct, but it's exacerbated by dating through something such as Tinder, because it just becomes like law of large numbers. And furthermore, I think in particular, like, there's a really strange way that it's blown out of proportion on a dating app. Because, so, say I went to a bar, right? And this was the scenario that I hated. But if I did go to a bar and try to pick up a girl, I only have to compete with the, you know, the 10 to 30 guys maybe maximum in that bar, right? Those are the competing suitors, as it were, in this, like, contained to that one bar hypothetical scenario. But when you throw in something like Tinder, all of a sudden you're competing with guys in a maybe like 35-mile radius, which is many more men. And because men are more open to like a broader range of girls physically, a lot of times because they are just looking to fuck, and they'll fuck a girl that like they might not think is the most attractive girl in the world because they're just trying to get laid. But guys will like, it's like borne out by data that guys on something like Tinder, for instance, will just swipe right on everybody. Swipe right, swipe right, swipe right, swipe right. Match, 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 match. And then girls will have then, you know, thousands of potential matches. Like, literally. Like, I mean, like, talk to, like, if you know any attractive ladies out there that use a dating app, just talk to them about their experience. And they are just, like, inundated with messages to the point where they have to differentiate somehow. So then it becomes this snowball of, like, keeping up with the Joneses, where the guys have to be, first of all, they have to be, like, supermodel attractive a lot of the times, because the girl might not necessarily only want a supermodel attractive guy, but when she's got 10,000 matches, why not? If that's like her preference. And also have to be like super clever, because if he's not super clever, how's he gonna stand out? If a girl gets 800 messages that all say sup, hi, how's it going? Like, it's a nice greeting, but it doesn't stand out. It's like a resume at that point. You have your dating resume, and there's a lot more pressure to differentiate yourself right up front. So I think online dating is poisonous and horrible, and the internet is poisonous and horrible, and my daughter is gonna end up lonely anti-vaxxer. The end. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like or a comment. And if you want to see more Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus challenges and other content when it comes out on the channel, please subscribe. I'm Accidental Grenade, and thank you so much for watching.